Hello everybody, this is Jason Champa, your instructor for Speech 2335, Argumentation and Debate. I wanted to kind of do something a little different. In this case, rather than doing Blackboard Collaborate, I wanted to do Google Hangout so that hopefully y'all could start figuring out how to use that. So if you have any future classes online that require it, you won't need to be figuring things out so much. I know they do change a few things every now and then, but I find it's a good tool to connect with more students, as well as this one usually goes up sooner than the Blackboard Collaborate. So there's that. Today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you all two files that will hopefully help you with our first mini debate. I know there's not too much on that now, but I did find a few things that I'll go ahead and edit and make sure that they fit the assignment. But I'm going to show them to you all now. They'll be up shortly, but you'll have two debates in this class, and I found that the best thing to do is for my students to start them sooner than later. We do have about 2 months of class left. I know we do have that big break in between the third week of March, as well as the Easter break after that. But again, the way I think you should do this is get this done by the end of March so that you have all of April and some of May to get the major debate done, which is going to require considerably more work. And good, yeah, Miguel and Cecilia are here, so we'll hopefully join in. If y'all would like to join in, cool. If not, y'all can just watch through the Google, the start button there. But give me 1 second. All right, so it doesn't seem we have any viewers right now, but that's fine. I can screen share pretty easy, and I'll go ahead and do that. But yeah, the mini debate, it's kind of an informal little practice debate that we take for a grade. Y'all can go ahead and pick the topics. But you're going to have to team up with someone in the class to do this. I find, it's a good way to get practice for that real one. Now, first off, I'll go ahead and go over the mini debate format, which I'll do my screen share right here. And I'll be editing this just a little bit more to make it perfect for our class. But here's the format, 1 to 3 speakers for each side of an issue. Y'all can pick what issues y'all want to do. You can also determine whether you're going to be pro and con. If not, you can ask me. You can have notes or note cards. And there's going to be a little crossfire section, which I'll explain in a bit. And the way that the mini debate works is first Team A is going to have 1 to 2 minutes to say their opening statement. Team B will say a response. Then there's going to be a 1-minute timeout so that y'all can take some notes. And then you're going to have what's a crossfire. Now, the crossfire, both speakers have the floor and may ask and answer questions during the 2 to 3 minute period. In the grand crossfire, all students have the floor. The first question must be posed by the team which did not speak prior to the first crossfire period. So that means Team A asks the first question, and then Team B does it. But yeah, that's a crossfire. It's basically the cross-examination in a fancier, funner term. So you'll do that. The first speaker will speak for Team A, then the first speaker will speak for Team B. If there's only one member in the team, then that's fine. It'll just be the only speaker. After that crossfire period, there's going to be another speech, another little main points, Team A, speaker 2, or a different speaker from the first one, or the same speaker. Team B will have another speaker if they have another speaker, a 1-minute timeout, and then there's going to be each team is going to have a crossfire period where they have 1.5 minutes to kind of ask and answer questions to the other team. I'll be timing those, and I'll basically let you all know when it cuts out. Then there'll be a 2-minute timeout where y'all can kind of collect yourselves. After that, there'll be a summary of y'all's main points, just kind of wrap things up on both sides. If you have 3 group members, then you'll have the third one do that or something. And finally, after each group summarizes their main points, there'll be a grand crossfire where everyone can kind of try and argue with each other, but they only have 1.5 minutes. And then after that, another timeout, and then the closing thought. And I'll kind of make a decision as to who won, even though I'm not really big on kind of judging both. But I will have a rubric to give grades. And I'll go ahead and show that to you all right here. Let me just stop sharing. Let me just... Okay, good, 3 viewers. So the rubric is going to be pretty simple. Basically, I'm going to be grading in 6 criteria: the organization and clarity of your viewpoints. So what's going to help you with this is if you can stick your arguments to the structure, as well as when you're going to have to turn in an outline for your speech, as long as I can follow that clearly, the use of your argument, the reasons given to support your argument, as well as the use of examples and facts. So this would be your arguments. This would be the evidence or citations that you use. If you can use logos, ethos, and pathos when presenting, all of them. So it shouldn't matter what type of argument you're making. You should be able to use logic, credibility, and emotion in it. Your presentation style, which, since this is the first argument and debate, I won't be too... I'll be pretty easy in terms of the style that you do when you're presenting, as well as the written argument, which will be this is written, not written. Written argument, which should be the completeness of your outline. And I'll be grading this based on, it's a guidelines. It's not a hard way to grade things, but if you can get all these, you'll get, I believe 24 max points, and that will translate to the 100, the 90, and so on. So this is how I'll grade your speech. Again, not too difficult. I'll probably use a version of this for the other speech too, but it's going to be a little more extended. But yeah, that's the point of this, to help you all kind of see how I'm going to be grading this thing. So Miguel, I just saw that you didn't catch the whole thing. So let me go and just do another summary of the mini debate. I'll upload these up, today or tomorrow sometime. But the mini debate, what you're going to do is you'll get a team, and you're going to find another team to argue against. It could be 1 to 3 members per team. I know that we have a pretty small class, so you may just have to partner up and argue with them. Y'all are going to pick a topic, and you can either pick what sides y'all want to be, or I'll decide for you. Then you'll be researching your topic. You'll come up with a speech outline, and you'll have this little debate. It's going to be at most 24 minutes. First, Team A is going to say their piece. Then Team B is going to say their piece. They'll have up to 2 minutes, though you can do shorter than that. There'll be a 1-minute timeout, and then we'll have a 2-minute crossfire where Team A has 1 minute to ask and answer questions, and Team B has 1 minute to ask and answer questions. After that, we'll take the next part of the presentation, where either a different speaker or the same speaker, if there's one person in the group, will have 2 minutes to deliver their second argument. Team B will then deliver their second argument. Both have 2-minute limits. There'll be a 1-minute timeout, and we'll have another crossfire where each person has 1.5 minutes to ask and answer questions. We'll take a 2-minute timeout. There'll be each side giving a summary. Team A will give their summary for 1 minute. Team B will give their summary for 1 minute. Then there'll be a grand crossfire, cross-examination, where each side has 1.5 minutes to ask and answer questions. One last timeout, and then each side gets a closing argument. And when I was explaining that, I had this thing open, but I should have gone ahead and shared the screen. Let me go ahead and do that just so y'all can see it real quick. My bad. I'm really sorry about that. But yeah, here's and I'll upload these again, like I said. Here's the format right here. These instructions I just need to review and make sure that everything's clear, but you will have to turn in a brief outline of your arguments as well as a works cited page. If you need some sample topics, and I'll keep this, well, I'm going to stop sharing now, but like I said, I'll update it. Let me go ahead and look up a few websites. Let me look up a few websites to see if we can find some sample debate topics. So I found, by Googling sample debate topics, a website called idebate.org, which has top 100 debates. Y'all could definitely go ahead and use this one. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Where is it? Yeah, this one. So again, there's a lot of different debates. Like example, the House believes single-sex schools are good for education. This House would ban animal testing. Homework is a waste of time. House would ban school uniforms. And they say junior because they're more for like junior high or high school. But if y'all want to go with those, that's totally fine too. The House would ban the sale of violent video games, censor violent video games. The House would ban beauty contests. The House would ban boxing. All of these are potentially good topics. If you want to use even more, go ahead. If you want to come up with your own, that's okay. But this is just a sample. I'll go ahead and share this link on Blackboard as well in a couple days. But it's not too hard to find. Like I said, 100. It's sample debate topics, the first item there. So that's pretty much all I have for today. I just was going to give you all a good summary of the various topics. I will go ahead and open up the floor to questions. If y'all have any questions, go right ahead and ask them on the chat there, and I'll go ahead and answer them as soon as I get them. Miguel asked, how do we get our teams? You can send an email out to other students to ask if they can join you with the team. You can again join up to, let's see, there's Mario. Okay, sorry, all y'all's messages just came in, so I'm going to answer the easy ones first. There's not a review for the midterm, but you should have about 2 or 3 tries for it. So if you don't get the best grade for the first time around, I'll grade it and kind of give you some tips for it, and then you can try and take it again. So no review, but you do get 2 or 3 times to try and retake it. So hopefully that makes up for that. Yes, you do ask someone. Okay, if you need, how do you get partners? You ask people if they want to be on your team. just like Mario and Miguel are doing. Now, y'all can the way with teams are figured out is that it's basically going to be an argument of two sides. You can have up to 3 people per side. So it could be 3 versus 3, 2 versus 2, 1 versus 2, or 1-on-1. So that way you can share some of the coursework and the research that's going to be needed to put together an argument, and y'all can help each other out even if y'all are on opposing sides, because really the purpose of this is to practice and get good at the type of debate formats, not to win, because the competitions are outside of class. Here, I just want y'all to learn how to do things. So send emails to the rest of the group. There is one way that you can do it, but if you can't find a teammate, but you don't get as much out of the class as you could if you do this, what you can do is basically, if you can't find a teammate, you can research both sides, send me the notes for one side, and then you'll debate me and I'll debate you with the notes from your other side, as I did in one of the sample videos there. So if you can't find a teammate, you can debate me using your notes, and that would be fine. But I highly encourage you to get with a teammate, find a partner, find a few partners, and argue with each other that way, so that you don't have to research as much. And remember, you do have to turn in an outline of your arguments as well as a works cited in APA format. But next week we can go over a few tools that you can use to make that. So I'll go ahead and wait for a few more questions to pop up on the board. Hopefully that helped y'all's questions out. If it wasn't clear enough, go ahead and say, oh, can you explain that further? And I'll try and do that. The mini debate officially is due before the end of the semester. So by May, as long as you have all the debates done, you should be fine. But a suggested due date, let's go ahead and make the suggested due date be April 8th, which is going to be the first full week of April. That way you can have the rest of April to get together and prepare for the major debate. So let me go ahead and put that on the thing. So yeah, April 8th would be the please do this by then to get it done. And you can submit it through Google Hangout. You can record yourselves in person or through Blackboard Collaborate. Google Hangout works pretty well for this because you don't really have to set up anything. You can just invite each other, set it to record, and I can sit in on it or I can watch the video. Yes, all assignments are due by the end of the semester, but again, I have suggested due dates so you don't get overwhelmed by everything, which is why I'm trying to present and give you all the information as soon as possible, early as possible, so you can have enough time to work on it and not have to be too overwhelmed. And I think that's all the information I had, so I'll go ahead and wait for any other questions. But if there are no other questions, I'll go ahead and wrap things up. Thank you all for being here. I will stay here to answer any other questions that you'll have. I just may only do it on the website rather than the Hangout. But I'll keep this going until 7:45 like it says it's stated to be. Yeah. All right, so I'll go ahead and log off now, but thanks for coming, thanks for watching, and have a nice evening and weekend.